mostly ignored in IT organization. People think that why testing is important. If developer can do the testing, what is the importance of a tester? Then slowly that has been changed to automation. Then again, something else they are demanding. For a development, they are sure what they are looking for, but for a testing, they are looking for a scientist in the when you will go the requirement. They are looking for a person at 4 years of experience should know about Selenium, JMeter, API, AWS, CI/CD, everything they are demanding. So why this misperception is there? So from that idea, we have started a Refer Me group. Then slowly, gradually, the group has been increased. We have in a week we have increased around 1,000 people with a good response. Then we started doing coffee with Refer Me group that we have started in Delhi tourism office in CP. Then slowly people recommended in the market there is no good training institution, so you can start the training. We came into a training part. We associated with good trainer around the across the country, and we have found very good trainers. And since then, we have started, and we are working on this. So till now, we have a very good reviews on Google. Around 347 people has given a review to different 4.8 rating. In terms of if I talk about the training, then we have done more than 6,500 hours of training. We have taught around more than 10 plus countries professionals, right? And then we have 2,500 plus hours of a training experience, right? And just a minute, let me open the website, right? And in a month, we share more than 2,500 jobs on our different Google groups, right? Also, we reward to the people that who are sharing, who are helping to others. So we reward to the people by sharing the job on Refer Me group. So this is our website. You can go and check there. You can get the review from there. So today's meeting, this chapter is about for those QA professionals. Few things we will discuss here. One, what is the career growth, right? At multiple experience level. Then next we will discuss what to learn. Then we will discuss how to deal with the office politics. These are three which I believe is a major painful area for any QA professional. Anything else you guys want to contribute here? Anything else you want to discuss here? Any of you? I can see that around 21 people have joined. Algenia, Amit, Apurva, Ashwin, Keyur, Kiran, Monica, Mridul, Nista, Prateek, Raghavan, Sanjeev, Saurabh, Utsav, Vani. Anything you want to contribute here that we need to discuss today?
Or how to switch in a product-based company as a tester?
Sorry, can you again?
How to switch in a product-based company as a software tester?
Okay, how to switch in product base. Okay, anything
So one
else?
thing I have is
Mhm.
like how can we switch our career as a like suppose anyone is a developer and he wants to go into a data science field. So how we can switch that? Like I am a tester and I want to switch to another field.
Mhm.
That thing I want to know.
Okay, what's your name, please?
Raghavendra.
Okay, Raghavan.
Hi, Monica this side.
Yeah,
I
hi,
have
Monica.
similar kind of question. I have a question like if I am a tester, I have not worked into some area. If you take cloud, AWS or Azure,
Mhm.
and if I have gone through some training or some certifications, if I go through some AWS certifications, then how can I switch in that particular area if I want to work in that area without practical knowledge? How can certifications help us, and how to direct our vision towards that area?
So similar kind of a question, how to switch in
Yes,
another field,
right,
right?
right.
Okay, thank you, Monica.
Yeah,
Anyone else? Yeah,
yeah, Vipul this side.
yeah, Vipul.
Yeah, I have a question like if someone is a manual tester and he has around more than 6 to 8 years experience, how to proceed into automation testing and want to know what is the correct path if someone don't have any knowledge of programming and coding and basic concepts, how to move in automation testing and how to proceed?
Okay, Vipul, I don't know, but your name is coming by the name of Raghav.
No, my actually
I don't know.
no, my name it's learner. It's showing on Zoom.
Okay. So I have changed it. Now I have kept it Raghav.
Hi, I have a question. Also, can we discuss on like with more years of experience, we say there are less job in the market. Which are the best platforms? I know like Refer Me is one of the platform where
Mhm,
people share in the job openings and we can apply.
Mhm.
But I think like can we discuss more about the other platforms wherein we can look for the job and apply if anyone is looking for a job?
Sure, Monica. Sure. So more.
Hi, my name is Alzina, and I want to discuss about how to grab some good downside opportunities and what are the keys
Okay.
for that.
Hello. Yes. Hello. Saurabh here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have to ask about how to deal with the notice period because most of the organization ask immediately or maximum 30 days.
Okay. Okay. So guys, I guess these are the enough points we can cover because this meeting has a limitation of 1 hour, right? I will request to each one of you keep yourself on mute if you are not speaking, right? And let's proceed further. Right, Vipul and Saurabh, yeah, thank you so much. So I'm very thankful that two people joined this forum. I can see the name. One is Sachin sir, by whom I have learned a lot of things in my career. Another is Pradeep Nedwal. Pradeep is the person who has inspired me and influenced me a lot in my life, right? In terms of the learning, in terms of the teaching. Uh, I mean, I also teach ISTQB. We have done 41 batches, and lot of things I have taken from Pradeep Tenwal sir, that the way he teaches. So one thing I will request to him first to Pradeep Nelwal that he will let you know that how to move into automation. Guys, first let me tell you, Pradeep sir has taught more than 1,000 plus professionals across globe. He has more than 8 years of his teaching experience from Refer Me Group. He is teaching a lot of people. Around 70% people who have done or taken a training from him has changed their career. Sometimes they were not from IT background even. Now they are automation expert and automation architect as they are working. So the magic how he has created, I'm definitely we want to hear from him that how he first removed the fear of learning automation and how he grow the people. So Pradeep sir, I request you please if you can help us to understand.
Okay. Thank you, Nitesh. Yeah, hi everybody. So uh, let me introduce myself. Myself Pradeep, and I have 13 year experience in the IT industry as a QA profile. So currently I am working as a testing architect in one company that I cannot reveal as a part of policy. Yeah. So this is the, you can say, question which is a very common question which we face when we just looking for a career in the automation. The question is that same, that how to move in the automation. So now the thing is that first of all you will see that if you are moving into automation, first thing is that you should be very good in the manual part. Why I'm saying that you should be good in the manual part, reason is that first of all you have to understand what is automation. Automation is testing is not you can say something that is totally separate from the manual testing. Manual testing, whatever you are doing it manually, you are going to make a software for that so that you can make it automated. It run automatically. You create some scripts, you create some code for that. So every time when we are talking about the automation, we are taking the example that I need some understanding of coding. Not so much, but yeah, definitely there should be some basic understanding of the coding. People say that in the market there are so many tools for that. Using those tools you didn't need the coding part, but that is not true. I understand that there are so many tools in the market which we do not need the coding, but not the, you can say, 100%. They need little bit coding part also, because the thing is that every tool has some limitations. So if you want to get rid of this type of limitation which tool is not providing, you can directly go into the coding part of that tool. Every tool is built on a programming language, like you can take the example of JMeter. You can take the example of SoapUI, and if you take the example of Selenium, Selenium is itself a tool which is totally based on non-GUI. So you're totally dependent on the coding part. So everywhere you will see that if you really want to move into automation, you should have a basic understanding of the coding part. So now if you are talking about the coding part, so first of all you have to remove your, you can see, you have to get rid of this fear that you cannot learn the coding part. Coding is very easy. Only the thing is that you have to learn the basic thing of a coding. Like, don't directly jump into the coding part like I'm going to learn Java, I'm going to learn Python. No, first understand how coding works. When you are going to learn the coding, what basic things you have to understand. Okay, the common things of a coding, like when you are going to the learn any language, first of all, don't directly jump to the language. First understand, okay, this language provides what type of feature. Nowadays, mostly language, or you can say every language is providing or following the rules of OOPS concept, like what is encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance. So these are the common concepts which are not related to a particular language. These concepts are related to the any type of programming language which provides better functionality. So you have to understand these concepts. When you understand these concepts, then you have to learn the start learning the Java part. Now again, the thing is that I will not say that that you can learn Java by your own. The reason is that so many you can see videos are available in the internet. But what I feel that in my career, I have a career of 13 experience in IT industry, but as a you can say a trainer, as a session provider, I have experience of 8 years. So what I feel that when you learn the coding part, actually you don't follow the proper way. So that how you should start from which point you should start the learning of that coding part, only the basic part, and which topic you should keep first, and how you should start. People usually start from they just open the Eclipse and they start coding their part, and they say they created a hello world, something like that. No, first of all, understand you are going to write a code in the Eclipse. So what is the use of Eclipse? Why Eclipse is very important? Because it is not directly related to the language part, yes, but it is going to tell you that if you're writing a code in Java, if you're writing a code in any other language, how Eclipse is going to help you. So it actually clears most of the doubts of your language. Are you getting my point? So now the thing is, there's so many points. So the thing is that whenever you are going to move in the automation, you have to, first of all, the important part, you have to be very positive that you can learn automation. So many good online sessions are there. You can join the in Refer Me group. We can only assure you 100% that you will learn automation easily. You will learn the Java part easily because we have provided so many sessions. So the thing is that you have to very positive that you can learn, because if in your mind is something like that, I cannot learn, it is really little bit tough, it is only the part of the developers. No, now this is not the part of only developers, it is part of QA profile also. The good thing with us is that in the developers profile, they have to learn so many things. They have to learn the core part of Java, core part of Python. Then they have to go for different type of frameworks available in the Java, like Spring, Hibernate, Strut, something like that. But we have to only make ourselves expertise on the core Java part. So I think we should be more better than the developers in terms of core Java. So you have to make yourself positive, then you can take the guidance for any online session. But if you trust on us, you can take the sessions from us also. We can assure you, because we have a good experience, we have provided so many sessions, we have completed so many complete automation profiles, which includes API, Java, so many other things, JMeter, everything. We try to, you can say, create a package for that. So we have created this package in this way, so that if you go into the market, you will present yourself, okay, now I am ready to move into the automation profile. Are you getting my point? So this is the, you can say, basic things. The only thing is that you have to be positive, and you need really a good mentor for that, so that you, if you have some queries, that should be resolved. Okay. So
yeah, thank you so much, Pradeep sir, for your help. Vipul, I hope you got your answer right. Vipul, are you there?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you. So next in this forum, I can see Amit has joined, but I guess he has dropped. Okay. So the next query is which is asked by you guys, right? So I'm just dropping it here, right? Amit, are you there? I guess he's not. Okay. Now, more how to switch in another field, and this I will deal with you. I mean, I will help you on that. So here in this forum, there is a Sachin sir. Sachin sir, let me tell you guys, he is having a 14, 15 years of experience. Previously, he was working with one of the finest organization in NCR, and he was working as a QA manager. But at 14, 15 years of experience, when he has realized there is no more career growth, right? So he has changed his career. You won't believe, without having experience, he has tried at this experience level, he has tried something new for himself. In a year, he has made himself at that much capable that he has changed his job, taught around more than 100 plus people, associated with a lot of meetups, associated with a lot of groups related to Agile. He has changed his career as a Scrum Master, and now he is working as an Agile coach in one of the good organization in North India. So let's learn from him, and let's hear from his side that how he has taken this risk. Like here, few people have asked how to switch in another field, how to make a career, right? And if something is new for me, how can I try? How can I show my experience? So let's listen from Sachin sir how he has taken this risk and how he has changed his show. So Sachin sir, can you hear me? I'm not sure if he has. Okay. In the meantime, I guess there is some connection issue. So let him join again. Now let's talk about how to deal with the notice period, right? So what was the question exactly? I mean, the question is that presently we have a 90 days notice period. Then how to deal with that, or what is the question exactly?
Yes, this is the same question. Actually, while giving the interviews, we are facing most of the organization is asked to join immediately or max 30 days. Even though this company always having a 30 days or 90 days notice period. So whenever we are talk about we have a 90 days notice period or 60 days notice period, then they will, okay, we will check with our clients and we'll get back to you. So most of the interviews are rejected because of the notice period.
Okay. So how you guys, what you guys think? Then I will definitely help you. How you guys deal with it?
So according to me, if the one organization is having a 90 days notice period and another organization is hiring the employee, okay, so they should also understand the person having a 90 days notice period. So they should wait for the person till 90 days, or they will tell no, we have a limitations, like that. At least interview should be conduct. Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. And what's your name, please?
Saurabh.
Okay, Saurabh. Okay. So Saurabh, I will come back to you on this question, but in the meantime, Sachin sir has joined. So I was telling you about Sachin sir that he is having 14, 15 years of experience, and he was working as a QA manager in one of the finest organizations in North India. And then he has taken a risk. He has changed his career completely from testing to as a Scrum Master. Definitely, he doesn't have any experience into a Scrum Master. That's why he has taken the risk. Then he has done certification. He has learned a lot of things. Now he is associated with the many meetups, many groups. He is helping nowadays to not only his organization but to other professionals to make their career. So just 2 years before, if you will ask who is a Sachin sir, so I will say he is a early QA manager. Now, if you will ask me who is he, so I will say he is an agile coach and a Scrum Master, not only helping in his organization but also to others as well. So the question is that how to switch into another field, how to take a risk. Let's listen from Sachin sir. So Sachin sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Nitesh, I just joined. Could you please come again with your question?
So the question is, people are asking here if they are working into a manual testing, how they can switch into a different field like AWS, cloud computing, or data science, or anything. So the question is from you, like you have taken a risk here. No one is at a same experience level. If I'm not wrong, you have a very good experience, 14, 15 years. if you can take a risk at this experience level, then how you have they can take a risk, because people at 3 or 4 years of experience, how they can move into their career.
Right, right. So Nitesh, like I have more than 15 years of experience, and it's not only me. You also, took a risk to move from QA to this agile coach scrum master role. So guys,
Right, sir.
who has less experience, it's good for them to move from QA to. Let me tell you what is the issue with QA. It's not like that I'm going to tell something wrong about QA, but guys, you see most of the companies is now moving from this waterfall model to agile model. So there is different frameworks. So agile is a model, and there is a Scrum, XP, Safe. There is different models. So the in whichever framework we will work in agile, most of the time the base is the Scrum or the Kanban. So when you start working in agile Scrum or agile XP or any framework, at that point of time, QA manager role or QA lead role or the other role, guys, which is highest role in QA, it's not relevant in agile Scrum anymore. Everyone is an individual contributor when you start working in agile Scrum. So this is the issue. That's why I was working as a QA manager, but after before I moved to as a Scrum Master role. Before that, in between QA manager, I worked in 2 projects as an individual contributor, because these 2 projects was in agile Scrum. So at that point, I thought, okay, if I will continue with this QA part, then this will be an issue for me, because my growth will stop in this case. Because as an individual contributor, they whatever I'm doing is an experience of 13-14 experience. Anyone who has experience of 6-7 years is also able to do the same thing. So why people want me to be in the team as an individual contributor? So that's why this is the reason I start thinking that in which field I able to move. So for me, at after experience of 13 years of experience, I thought, okay, I will move to Scrum Master role, because it's people management plus mentoring plus teaching plus coaching type of things. But you guys who has 3 years of experience, who has 4 years of experience, they can, it's not like that, because they able to take risk easily. There is no issues with them. If the people feel like, one of my friend, he moved to Scrum Master role, now he is not very comfortable, so again move to testing. So testing is your base. But if you try to move like like there is so many new fields in IT now open, like Azure is one role, cloud computing is another part, data science is the another part. So guys, my suggestion is, do not stuck with the QA part. QA is your base. You already working in QA from last 4-5 years. You know about QA. Anytime you're able to move again to QA, but take a risk, do some certifications, go with videos. There are so many videos on available on YouTube. Go through with these videos. Be part of as much as many these type of groups. Like I'm as a Scrum Master, you see, I'm part of almost 10-15 different Scrum Masters group, where it's very easy to you start asking questions with these people, and they start teaching you that how to move as a Scrum Master role as a agile coach. So same way you will joining different groups, people will help you, plus do some certifications, plus go through as much as videos you're able to go. Because it's not give you the practical knowledge, but at least when you go for the interviews, you will be ready with your lines, with your important points, with your important words which you have to speak in the interview. So this is how I started as a Scrum Master, when I want to move to Scrum Master. So you see, I saw almost 500-600 videos which helped me to understand that what is actually Scrum Master, how the person should work. I ready with some lines, some words and everything. Plus then I did some certifications also. So this will help me to move in this role. Then slowly you start learning about the particular role. So best thing is that if someone will if because of any reason, if I need to move to again in a QA role. It's easy for me. But I'm taking this risk from last 2 years. I'm working as a Scrum Master. Now I'm doing good. So the best way is the good thing is that you are a QA, but you easily move to other roles also. Who is interested in coding part? See where your coding will help you in this role, like data science, where Python is very important, or other roles, right, Nitesh?
Yes, sir. So thank you so much for your contribution. So guys, here the question is, I mean, basically first go through a lot of YouTube videos are there and they are free of cost. First, I mean, one thing you should not follow that, oh, my friend is doing this, then I should go on this. Don't turn yourself like that. First, you take where is your interest, right? That's very important. So, because today by force, if you can go into a particular technology, tomorrow if you will not having any interest, you cannot move further. You cannot make your career. But if you have an interest, even if I'm saying Python or even if I'm saying uh, any old language, right? Any old technology, if you have an interest, work on that. Learn lot of see lot of videos, watch lot of videos, then do some certification, learn how they are cracking the interviews, and believe me, on YouTube everything is available. You can take help from those from there. And in my knowledge, a lot of people have changed their career. A lot of people have got into a new role, into new technology, even though they do not have any experience, right? Because once you will go through the video, you will learn how to deal with the interview techniques. Then you will know how to mold your resume, how to update your resume, and then your chances of getting the interview in the same technology will be easy, right? So I hope that this has helped you, Monica, and I don't know who else have asked this question. So help
Uh,
this.
Yes.
yeah, here I have a one question from Sachin.
Yeah.
And suppose that I have done certification on Scrum Master and I'm working as a QA manual, but I want to switch in Scrum. So when I updated my resume as a Scrum, will first question they will ask much experience you have as a Scrum Master. So how to deal with this type of questions?
Okay.
So you have to tell at least 2.5 years of experience. Guys,
But
it's
suppose,
देखो, one thing, it's in your hand.
okay.
See how much confidence you have in you, right?
Hmm.
What I told you, like whatever you work as a QA manual. Nobody is going to check there in your company that you're working as a Scrum Master or QA manual,
Okay.
right? It's your confidence. If you're asking a very good question. So many times I'm also giving so many trainings in Scrum. So most of the time, QA people want to move in the Scrum role, right?
Right.
And we saw so many CVs. In fact, we we asked these people to refine their CVs. Me and Nitesh both. Most of the time, the CVs is like that they are working in QA. The CV is not like that they're working as a Scrum Master or they're working in Agile Scrum role. The issue is people do not have confidence. If you have confidence in you, then you will show that you're working as a Scrum Master. Your CV will present you, right? Like how the HR will select you. HR will select you, or recruiter will select you. You first they will select your CV, right? And now
Right.
they will select your CV on the basis of what you have written there. So most of the time, QA people, their CVs is like that they are working as a QA, a QA manager, QA lead, or whatever. They want to move to role in Scrum Master. Nobody is going to select you. So first of all, your CV should present you in this way, that you're working as a Scrum Master. At least you have a 2.5 or 3 years of experience. Again, now people start asking, yeah, how will you will get this much of confidence? So you will get what I told you. Go through with as much as possible, videos. There is thousands of videos which is available on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Add yourself, with the different groups which is related to Scrum. There is so many discussion every time going on in these groups. I am in a group, and we are discussing every day 1.5 hour about Scrum, how a Scrum Master should behave, how different aspects as a Scrum Master, what is happening in the project. So these all things will help you to understand that how a Scrum Master will work. Plus, they will give you the lines. What I told you, okay, everyone want to listen the words, the important words which a Scrum Master should speak in interview. So these all things will help you to learn that how you will going to give your interview, what people will ask you. What happened in this group, most of the time they have, everyone have 5-6 years of experience as a Scrum Master, so they already start taking interview. So they start telling you that how you will behave in the interviews, right? What you should tell, what you should speak in the interviews. But again, what is your name?
Saurabh Shrivastava.
Saurabh. So again, Saurabh, the important thing is that how much you will learn from these different parts, like from the videos. The videos are very good videos available on the YouTube, which will help you very much. So go through with these videos, try to learn as much as possible from these videos, try to learn that what actual work of a Scrum Master, what are the different aspects of the ceremonies and everything.
Yes, because
you will get your
I have already done PSM level 1 last Feb. So I have started given interviews, but my organization does not follow any Scrum. So here I am facing to difficulty to.
Yeah, Saurabh, actually, I'm very sorry to interrupt in between because we have a lot of questions to take, right?
Yes.
We can connect individual and I will connect you with the Sachin sir, so you can take his help, right? One thing
Yes.
and thank you so much for understanding, Saurabh. So one thing is very important, guys, here, what resume you are showing, what resume you are sending to the consultant and HR, the first impression is created from there, right? The most important thing is that, like Sachin sir said, most of the time, which I have seen that people are proposing their resume for Scrum Master, but you can smell it from their resume that it is totally belonging to like a QA resume, right? Like in this forum, Amit Gupta is there. I am very thankful that he has joined. He shares a lot of opening, right, on Refer Me group. So he will let you know what kind of a resume he gets, right? So Amit, if you can help us. Can you hear Amit?
Yeah. Thanks, Nitesh. Thanks. Yeah. So most of the problems we say, actually, first of all, I need to introduce myself. I'm having around more than 13 plus years of experience. Currently working in one IT company with the role of as a senior manager here. So most of the openings that I shared, I found a lot of guys doing a same kind of mistake. For example, in my all the openings, I mentioned that I need a full information like what is your current CTC, what is your expectation, what is your notice period, and what is your job location. So few things I need to highlight. Few guys shared their CV from the Google Drive. So because we are working from the company environment, we cannot access your Google Drive. So that's totally a false, baseless for us because we cannot access your. Some guys only share their own resume. They never write even a single line with their own resume because on the daily basis, we got around 600 CV. So I don't have a time to read each and every CV in detail. I am sharing an opening for a BA and same time I got the CV from the QA as well as the developer. So that create a lot of hodgepodge. So in that case, most of the time I try to do proper screening, but still few of the times I also do my own job, and in the parallelly, that's very critical to me to do such kind of things. So few things I need to highlight when you share your CV. For example, yesterday I got a CV and I shared a opening for the business analyst, and he mentioned in the subject line as a BA, but inside I found a CV of tester. When I said that your subject line is not matched with your profile, he said, no, I'm sharing my profile for the tester. Then I said, why you mention in the subject line as a BA? So such kind of things you have to don't do such kind of things. Mails, I got number of mails with no subject and no body. They just attach the resume. So such kind of on the CV, I cannot understand how many mails I have to rewrite for such kind of pupils. Mails with have a body, but no subject line, that kind of things. When I say a few times, when I got a CV or few details, and I simply asked the person, please read my post carefully. So they said, I am doing such kind of misbehave those person. I still not understand what is that misbehave, because I'm just asking that I need few details before proceeding your CV. And I in the initial starting of this meeting, I noticed that few guys are asking about the notice period issue. Few guys are asking about some other question on the notice period issue. I tell you one thing on the hireman. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Okay. So on this notice period issue, I want to highlight one thing, that notice period is not related to a company. This is something related to a project. What happened that on the top side management, we got a requirement from the customer that we have to fulfill this position within a 30-day, 20-day, or a 40 days. That's a clear-cut timelines given by the client end. And when I say that your notice period is high and we cannot consider your profile, so we got some unweird responses. What is your company notice period? Are you able to release your resource within a 20 days? So that's a different thing. Company notice period is a different thing. And what we are looking right now is a different thing, because budget, notice period, timelines, locations, that all was decided by the client. We cannot decide those things. So be strict on those things, that if I'm saying that we need a person who can join us within a 20 days. So people are sharing with the CV of 90 days notice period, 60 days notice period. And they said that we just forward you, in the future you have to consider my profile. So whenever I say after 90 days, I don't remember your CV, because I'm getting almost a 600, 700 CVs on the daily basis, and I'm doing parallelly my own job here. So I cannot recognize your CV after 90 days. So this is just, you are filling my inbox and wasting your time. And another thing, be specific. A few of the things are like that we have a Scrum Master opening, and your entire CV is created on the QA manager role. So be specific on always. You have to do 5-10 minute screening on your CV. Just modify your CV with the requirement, match your profile. Because number of times what happened, you are doing a Scrum Master job, but your profile is in your company is like manager or something, or the architect, but the opening in the another company is a Scrum Master. So you have to twist your CV with respect to the requirement. So you have to just add the particular keywords in your CV, match with the JD of the company. So these kind of twist you have to maintain in your CV, and definitely by that your CV will shortlist.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Amit, for your help. So, guys, here what we have understood, it is our responsibility, right? I mean, we usually blame that guys. I'm not able to read your chat, so if you have any question, you can unmute and ask me. So we usually
Nitesh sir.
Yeah, Devin.
Yeah, Devendra here. So I'm in some one like critical situation actually. Like I'm serving my notice period. I put down my paper on April 15th, and according to my notice period, 2 month of notice period. So my last day is 15th June, but my company is forcing me to work for 3 months, and even they have mailed me the date, tentative working day, like last working day is 15th July, and my joining in the new organization is 17th June. So in that case, what I can do? Even I'm doing the regular follow-up with the manager and the HR.
So first thing, what is your official notice period?
Official notice only 60 days, but they have mentioned one line if for exit formalities is not done within period, so that can be extended. But I am
No,
ready
no,
for the knowledge transfer and exit formalities from the day one.
no, that is not possible, because you can raise a HR case and company has to release you within a 60 days.
Okay.
But you know, sir, pandemic. So what I can do, like I have to join other organization.
Okay, so Devin, you can connect me individual. I will help you how to work on that. But let's move on because this is
Okay.
people. Yeah, a lot of people are there, so we should.
Okay, I will
talk.
connect.
Yeah, sure. A common thing.
Okay.
So, guys, here the most important
Thank
thing, the crux is what we have understood from either from Sachin or from Amit, that your resume is your first impression, right? Now I am sending a resume for DevOps and I am sending resume as a QA, right? Obviously, no one is going to entertain you, correct? Apart from that, if in your resume, if the certifications has been added, definitely that will give you a very good gravity. You won't believe in my resume, if you will see, there are around 38 certifications which I have done in my career. And till now, I haven't replied from any of the organization that your resume has not been shortlisted. The reason because I have done a lot of certification. Again, I'm not saying that you should go for that. So select whatever is the best for you, right? And then go for you can switch your job and switch your career as well. Switching into a product base or switching into a consultancy base is there is no any thumb rule for that, right? It again depends what kind of a knowledge you are having, what kind of a certification you are having, and what impression you are creating by your resume. That's very important. Correct. Now let's come back to the on-site opportunity. So definitely for on-site opportunity, you have to connect on a LinkedIn, right? Nowadays, on-site opportunities are closed. Reason because they are even asking to work from home, so they are asking to work from India. Although when this pandemic will over, when Corona situation will be over, so you will get some opportunities from LinkedIn. So one best platform, you check with a consultant who are working at on-site, working at your specified or your desired location. Connect with them, join those groups on a LinkedIn, which will help you to connect with those people. There, apart from that, please do not go with those consultants who are charging for the money, right? And because they are sometimes they are
But
a fake people.
sorry to interrupt in between.
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt in between. This is my question. So I want to add up something that if I'm not having a visa and companies are not ready to sponsor, so even though they are asking us to work from our current location, which is India, it is still an on-site opportunity because we are getting a good pay scale over there, and the technologies in which the US companies are working. So how is it possible that I could fit into a company which is on site? That's what the question was.
I mean, what you said that you are working already into a company which is at on-site, but they are not
No, no, no,
responsible.
no, no. Actually, you mentioned that due to this pandemic, the companies are not calling you on site and not
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
on site opportunities. But most of the companies are giving on site opportunities, just not relocating the employees.
Right, right, right.
I believe that on-site opportunity is a different thing and relocating is a different thing. So
Yes,
if
correct.
whether we are not relocating, we are getting on-site opportunities more than ever before in this pandemic, I believe. So but there is a situation that in a few years, maybe after the pandemic gets over, they might call you, and if you are not having a visa, and if you are if you have required sponsorship, the companies are not ready to do that. So my question is, if I am not having a visa, for example, for Canada we need a PA visa, or for US we need a H1B visa. If I'm not having that, so how could I grab some on-site opportunity, even though if I'm not having a visa, I'm having 4 years of experience and I want to really switch into some on-site company. So
Okay. Okay. So Algenia, see, like I said before, nowadays companies are not relocating; they are giving you work from home. So they are preferring that people should work from India. Once the situation will be over, then they will call you. At this situation, this could be individual case as well. What you can do, you can consult with your company. You can ask them, and I mean, you can ask this question from them that if the pandemic will be over, are you guys going to sponsor my visa? If yes, then it's a very easy. If not, then again it is a taking a risk if you are sponsoring your visa by yourself. So what I have seen that people have, I mean, few of my friends, what they have done, they have taken a PR visa for Australia, for Canada, for New Zealand. They went there, they spent the money, and then they got a job from there. But again, it is a risky because it is a 50-50% chances you can get the opportunity or you cannot get. So better if go with the process that if any company is sponsoring your visa and sponsoring your job there, right? So just check with your current company if they are sponsoring. If not, then connect with someone on the LinkedIn, because on the LinkedIn so many consultants are there. Nowadays people are working from home, so they are giving opportunity. You can for a few
Could you
days.
could you
Yeah.
suggest some groups or some groups that I could join in on LinkedIn?
Okay, you
For
can connect.
this.
Sure, you can connect me or on the same WhatsApp group. I will share few of the groups from there. Right?
Okay, sure.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Amit, you have something because you have raised your hand.
Yeah, so on this, few of the on-site opportunity communication is going on. So I just want to highlight that in the few of the company, there are some restrictions on the on-site opportunity. For example, in my company, there is a restriction that they offer you on-site after a year you spent in the base location. For example, that my company is in Noida, so you have to spend minimum 1 year first in the Noida location, then they will provide you a on-site opportunity. So in that case, that is not the case that in my project, you will not get the on-site opportunity, or you will directly comes and they will offer you the on-site. So that's sometimes a visa to visa restrictions as well, because that's the restriction we have as of now. So so keep in mind that maybe sometimes that's just not the joke, that that's a luck based thing as well, that few guys I see in the entire career, they never got the opportunity to go on site, and some guys I see that on the first day they got the on site opportunity. So that also the
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Amit. Now coming to here, guys.
So
Saurabh has, yeah,
in just one little thing I want to mention, in which functional area in QA can we grab more on-site opportunity possibilities?
there is nothing specific.
Yeah,
Even
in the if you are talking about on-site opportunity in the foreign countries, QA has a good reputation and they have lot of openings every not on the specific time period. They have every time a very good opportunity in the different foreign countries.
Right, right.
Okay.
So in the current situation, the emerging technologies, you can go for a cloud computing, you can go for a GC, that's Google Cloud Computing, you can go for a data science, you can go for a RPA, they have a very good growth. You can go with
What
the
is the
automation, right? So these are the few areas on which you can work upon. And
what
these
is
are
the preferred experience I must hold in which by after which I should start looking for a good on-site opportunity?
I'm not getting your question.
For example, the number of years of experience that a candidate must hold for qualifying an on-site opportunity, is it 5 years or more, or
No, no, no.
what is it?
There is no such
thumb
kind of
rule.
restriction.
Yeah, there is no
There is
thumb
no
rule for
such kind
this.
of rule.
Mhm.
As I
Okay.
already mentioned, that few guys got the opportunity from the day one, and few guys
Yeah.
I saw in my career that after the 10 years they not got the opportunity. So there is no rule. That's upon the client requirement. If the client wants that, I want such kind of number of person in the on-site location, so they raise such kind of request.
Right.
Okay, clear
Yeah,
enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amit, and thank you, Algenia. So, guys, one more thing. Let's come back to here the question deal with the notice period. Again, I am underlining it. Whatever I am saying, please do not apply. Right? It is just on the experience basis what I am sharing. It again depends if you are applying, then it can be a risk, and if you want to take, you can move further. So, how to deal with the risk of a 90 days notice period? What I have seen, what people have done. They have updated their resume on multiple portals. They have shown that they have 30 days of experience, 30 days of a notice period, right? So what they have done, in they get one offer, right? So here, let's suppose you get one offer here, correct? Right? Once they are about to finish the 30 days notice period, they again look for another organization where again they show that they have a 30 days notice period, right? So in next, I can say 31 to 60 days, they get another offer of 30 days notice period, right? By this way, they have already served 6 days in their current organization, right? In next 61 to 90 days, they deal with another company, right? And they get another offer. Correct. So once by end of the day, you will serve your 90 days notice period and you will be having one offer in your hand. This is the one workaround which I have seen. But again, guys, if you are applying it, it is your risk. And please don't come back to me that since you have recommended, I'm not recommending it. I'm just telling you what people have done. Right. So by this way, people are working and there is a workaround for 90 days. Right. So this was about deal with the notice period, sort of, right? And more jobs, more platform for the jobs. I mean, definitely, I am not sure which is the platform. LinkedIn is the one. And apart from that, definitely, I'm not going to recommend anything else. Rest, there is a Naukri, Monster, a lot of things are here. Rest for me, Refer Me Group is the best platform where people help because here you get everything in one combination that you get the interview or discussion, you get the technical discussion, you get a help from the people, you get people like Amit who's always sharing the jobs and help to the people other. You get at least 2,500 jobs in a month, right? Which is the biggest platform. So apart from that, I don't have any other platform which I can recommend here. Right. Amit, you have something to share?
Yeah, Nitesh. So on this notice period, I say that, yeah, definitely the Nitesh, the show that the combination of 30 to 60 and all that, that's a true thing. And one more thing, you have to apply more and more jobs on LinkedIn because sometimes you see that you applied 2 or 3 jobs and you are not getting any calls from over there. And you, after that, you in the condition that you not applied over the LinkedIn or something like that. So on this graph, I can see that on 30 days, whenever your notice period is low, you get number of calls because I can to the current scenario, what I am doing here, most of the times I got the openings with my senior management and they said that we want the person who can join us within a 15 to 20 days. So why that kind of scenario comes? Because what happened, if I select a person with the 90 days notice period, after 90 days period, that person is not available for me in the market. That's why most of the times they prefer to deal with the short notice period person and they don't want to give that person chance to take a counter offer on that offer. So in that way, they also prefer who can join us immediately or within a 30 days period because they don't want to lose such kind of candidate because good candidate found in the market is a very difficult thing. That is not a very easy thing that because in my current company, we saw a scenario that out of 500, 600 CV, we shortlisted only 30 CV and out of that 30, only 12 to 13 people clear the first round. And after that, only 2 people are cleared the client round. And what we see that he said on the last day that I cannot join you, I have another offer.
Right,
So
right.
in that
Absolutely.
case, company wants to not deal with the higher notice period persons.
Correct, correct. And even companies knows that people are having a 90 days notice period, so they know that at the last moment they will they will skip or they will do some negotiation.
They are not available for the current company.
Correct, correct. So guys, here we have dealt with these questions, right? Now, how to what is a career growth, right? So as per the experience and when I have dealt with a lot of people, right? So I can share you that at least okay, if I ask a simple question here, 33 people are present. Apart from Sachin sir, he's from okay, he has left. So apart from I mean, in 33 people, Amit is working as a Scrum Master that I know. How many of you have done ISTQB certification? If I ask a simple question from you guys, a very basic and simple question. I am sure out of 34, only 8 or 9 people have done ISTQB certification, which is 1/3. And that is the reason. Yeah, Pradeep sir, I know you have done, right? Pradeep, you have something to share?
I just raised my hand just to show that I've
Okay.
done the ISEP certification. But yeah, I mean, like, because I in the form that I signed up for this Zoom session, I mentioned that I've been in the industry for quite some time, but I don't see myself that I'm moved up as I see other people. I understand it relates to your skills, the more passion you have to grow. But nowadays, I find myself sometimes lost. Like there are so many streams that you can go into from the QA, as you earlier mentioned in this session, that you can go into the Scrum Master, you can go into automation, you can go into business analyst, and there could be more opportunities as keep coming up because of the new technologies like DevOps, and you have cloud computing. So I find myself lost, like, where do I want to go? One day I think like, okay, I want to go into this. I start reading on that. Then after a few days, I think, okay, I'm not enjoying this. So I try to look for some other stream. Okay, let's go into this. So that's kind of a confusion I have. And I think I would not be the only one having this kind of mindset
Yeah,
after,
correct. So Pradeep,
after
I was
spending.
about right, Pradeep. I was about to cover this since we have overtime now. There is a one video which I have made, and that was in a consultation. You guys won't believe, around 2,500 people. I have done a small survey, so I have collected the information from 2,500 QA professionals and from testing professional, not QA professionals. QA is something different because like Apurva is doing STQB with us, so he knows what is the difference in testing professional and what is a QA professional. We are not exactly a QA professional, so I'm not going to discuss that. So that video I have made a career path for a QA people. I will post the same into a same WhatsApp group. You can go and view on that. Coming back to here, the same question: what is the career path? If, like I said, if I will ask a simple question, how many of you have done ISTQB certification? Around 8 or 9 people in this forum who will say I have done the ISTQB certification. So my question is again, why? Why you have not done? You are expecting that you should grow in your career, you should have a package of 50 lakh, 60 lakh, but you are not putting the effort from your side. Then which company will give you offer? Right? You are not putting the effort to learn the technology. You are not putting the effort to have some certification, right? And you are expecting that company should hire you as a scientist. No, why company should hire you? Why company will give you that much of package if you are not investing on yourself? People are stuck in and lacking that why I should go for a training, why I should upgrade myself, and they just see, oh, my friend got this offer. Your friend has done something, my dear friend. He has upgraded himself. So unless and until if you are not upgrading yourself, believe me, you are not getting anything. Right? Doctor, advocate, solicitor, and IT professionals, if they are not upgrading themselves, they will be out of the market. Not today, but after some time. Right? That's a bitter truth, and we have to accept it. Now, if I'm coming back to here, at 1 to 3 years of experience, what I believe, you must be ISTQB Foundation certified. You should start working as a manual tester plus initial knowledge of a Selenium, right? At 3 to 6 years of experience, you should go for ISTQB Advanced, whatever it is. You should go and select your technology in which you want to make your career in automation, Selenium plus API plus performance. After 6 to 9 years, you should go for some advanced thing. Now, from here, your career will take a turn into a senior management or a middle management, where you can go like you want to be architect, you want to go into a core management, or you want to go as a simple business analyst. So from here, your career will take a turn. You should go for those certification and upgrade yourself. Then if I go for 9 to 12 years, then again, you should go for a higher certification, right? For example, like me, I have selected Scrum Master at my 11 years of experience. Then I have decided to do the certification. Till my 13 years of experience, I have done around 6 more certification into a Scrum Master. Now, after 12 to 15 years, here you will be a like a manager. You will come into a little bit into a senior management role. At this level of experience, you should go for, like for me, I can tell you, I will be agile coach in few months, right? So in 12 to 15 years of experience, you should go for uh, any senior courses, like a lot of online courses are there. You can do MBA, you can go for a PMP, you can go for these career, right? But yes, at every stage of a career, you have to take a decision and you have to upgrade in the same direction. Whether you want to go into automation, whether you want to go into data science, whether you want to go into AWS, doesn't matter. But you have to upgrade every time, right? What to learn, it depends on you where you have a choice. Please, again, I'm repeating, do not go like your friend has done this, so I need to do this. You just select what you are having interest, because that will keep you a very longer time in that same field, right? So this we have discussed about the career growth, what to learn. Now, how to deal with the office politics? Anyone have any question on this? How to deal with the office politics? We will finish in next 2 or 3 minutes. Anyone have any concern on this?
Hello, sir. Vishal here.
Yeah, Vishal.
Actually, my question is not related to this, but another one. Can I continue?
Yeah, sure, please.
Sir, I have actually joined one product-based opportunity, but it's a C2H role. So, is there any impact on the profile if I
don't think so, Vishal.
didn't get permanent?
Yeah,
in future?
contract to hire nowadays in India, as it is increasing. Previously, it was in the UK and USA. In India, it was not just 2 or 3 years before, but now since in Corona, contract to hire has increased a lot. So there is no impact. But yes, try to move yourself from contract to hire to a permanent role. That will be more. That will be less risky. Although private jobs are obviously always risky, but comparatively, it's a less risky. Apart from that, if in contract to hire, if you can ask with your organization if they can make you a permanent role on their payroll, right? So guys,
okay.
yeah. So guys, here we have done with first 10th chapter of Chopal. In the next session, we will discuss how to deal with the office politics, right? Now, guys, again, I'm saying this is a small effort. Connect with the QA professionals. Only one thought process, that you should get the best in your career. Believe me, from this forum, if any of single person has in life has got some information, has taken a decision, I will be very happy, more than you, right? So one request to each one of you, I will share this link in this chat as well, and the same WhatsApp group. I request, please share your feedback on Google. That will help us to reach more and more people, right? Yeah, Vipul, you can speak, right? Oh, sorry, this is to everyone. So please share your feedback on the same link, because we want to reach to each and everyone in this QA community, in testing community. Yes, Vipul, you
Yeah,
have something?
yeah. Can I connect with someone on the phone call one-to-one regarding my questions for some discussion for few
Yeah, sure.
minutes?
So you are added in the same WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I'm added.
So you can ping there individually. Refer me group is the admin.
Pardon?
Refer me group is the admin. You can ping there.
Okay.
Yeah. And this Algenia, you can also ping. I will share a few links with you for on-site opportunity. I guess she has dropped. Anyways, so anyone has any more question to ask? I mean, I can see here Vishal, Vipul, Vani, Utsav, Shreyas, Sharda, Saurabh, Sanjeev, Sachin, Rushikesh, Rahul again, Raghavan, Priyanka, Pradeep sir, Pradeep, two Pradeeps are here, Nistha, Nilesh, Mridul, Monika, Manish, Kiran, Ayushi, Ashwin, Apurva, Amit, Puneet.
Yeah, hi Mitesh, Puneet this side.
Hello,
Yeah, Puneet.
hello,
I
sir. Utsav this side.
Yeah, I think you missed to tell about how to switch in product base, or I forgot
Yes,
to
sir.
listen it.
Yes, this I have not skipped. I have told you there is no any thumb rule that how to switch into a product base. I mean, I have worked from work into a product base plus consultancy. It depends on what kind of a requirement they are having. There is no thumb rule that I want to switch into a product base. I mean, if your jobs and your skills are matching with their technology, you will get an offer. That's a simple thing. There is, I mean, believe me, there is no thumb rule. If someone can tell you, please help me also how to switch into product this, but there is no question on that, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you, Puneet.
Sorry,
Thank
I
you,
just
sir.
missed. How do we connect to you if we have some queries? How do we personally connect to you if you want to do some discussion?
Okay, so Monica, if you are added in the same WhatsApp group, there is a
Yes.
refer me group admin. You can ping individual. We can connect.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. And I request you guys again, please give your feedback. I mean, you are just 2 minutes will help us to reach a lot of people, right? And in the next month, we will do the same test e-chopa. That will be our 11th chapter. Encourage your friends to join, right? Only the one objective that if I can help someone, right? So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Stay home, stay healthy. Please don't go out. It is a tough time, but together we will win the situation. And please share your feedback. I have shared the same link in the chat, this Zoom chat, and I will share the same link. Rahul, you can ping me. Okay, let me share my WhatsApp group number. Just a moment. We have our email ID contact@refermegroup.com. We have our website group.com, so you can connect with us by any means. Right, we have our contact number 4207859. Right, this is our on website also. Right, you can just Google on just right here you can go and find our contacts 7859, right? And also you can do a Google, you can find all complete details on the Google for us. Fine, guys. So thank you so much for joining. Stay at your home, stay healthy, stay safe, and we will win this corona situation very soon. So thanks a lot for joining. We will meet again on the next month on our 11th chapter, right? And please share your feedback. I am requesting again to you guys, right? So I'm closing this session, and the recording will be shared on our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you, Mitesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.